Hi kids. So today I want to talk a little bit about scenarios and rules of baseball. I'm going to create a few little videos to help you see this. So this here that you're seeing is our baseball field. Should look kind of similar to what you remember seeing when we play games. The brown area here is the infield. That's where all the dirt is that some of you like to kick around. And then the green areas out here is the grass, and that's the outfield. You have home, which is the home base. This is where everybody bats to start. You stand in your batter's box here and you hit, and then you run to first base. This is first base, second base, third base, home. Now remember, the point of baseball is to score as many runs as you can. So when you're up here hitting and you run to first, the goal is to eventually get to second, third, and home so you can score a run. That's how you do it. That's how you eventually win when you're batting. The team on defense are the people out here, like you guys have been doing, that try to stop that. You're trying to field the ball, catch the ball to get outs. So let me talk about a little bit just again about the field itself. Remember, home is where you bat. So these little areas that I boxed in here, that's called the batter's box. That's where that you start. If you're the person that's hitting with the bat, you're going to go into the batter's box, swing, and then you run to first base, sometime to second, depending on what your coaches tell you here. David's our only left-handed batter, and I think sometimes actually Luke now does. Luke bats left-handed too. Left-handed batters start from this side. Right-handed batters start from that side. But again, we'll show you. You guys are already doing all that right. But remember, this is home, first, second, third. Right here, we don't always have this on our field, but I drew a little symbol here. That's called the pitcher, okay? So when Coach Ryan or other people throw you the ball when you're trying to hit it, I usually am around this area to throw that to you so you can try to hit the ball. Now, this is the other important thing that I want to talk about, the fielding positions, okay? So it's a little bit easy once you start to understand the bases. This is home, first, second, third, and then that's pitcher. And remember, this comprises of the infield. The stuff on the dirt is the infield. The stuff in the green is the outfield. So I'm going to place these here. This is a defender. That's the first baseman. All right. He stands or she stands very close to the first base. Not on it, but very close to it. The next player on the infield is the second baseman. And they stand between first and second base, okay? TT, you've been playing second base a lot, and that's usually where you start, okay? As has others, but that's second base. The next position is shortstop. That's the one that I put right here. Shortstop is between second and third base, okay? And then the last position on the main part of the infield is third base. Third base, as it would make sense, stands close to the third base. So you have the first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third baseman. Now there's another player that is right here, right behind home, and that's the catcher. So normally in a normal baseball game, you would have a bunch of gear on, people would throw it to you, you would catch it, you would throw it back to the pitcher. But in our game, we have you stand back a little bit, and you'd kind of retrieve the balls. But there are times when you'll have to get involved and do things here. And then the last position in the infield is the pitcher. Now remember, sometimes I'm right around here throwing it to the batter so they can hit, but there's always a player right there. They're called the pitcher. That is the infield. So you have your first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, pitcher, catcher. All right, so I want you to take time to review this video sometimes and remember that. So when we say go to first base or go to second base, you'll know what that means. Now, if we tell you to go to first base, we don't mean to just stand on first base, right? We mean to stand a little bit away from it, maybe a foot or two away from it, and that's your position. If we tell you to go to second base, it doesn't mean to stand on top of second base. It means to stand right in the middle of first and second. Same with shortstop. Shortstop's between second and third base, and then third base is here, all right? Now, the other players that we were talking about are the outfielders. So this little piece here represents left field. So this is the left fielder. They are typically also, like the shortstop, between second and third base, but they're in the grass, okay? The difference is the infield is in the dirt, the outfielders are in the grass. So that's left field. Center field makes sense because, again, you're in the center of the field. If this is home plate, everything's based off where home plate is. So this is central of home plate. Center field goes behind second base right here, again, in the green. And then this one is called right field. Right field is typically between first and second base. Now, typically in a real baseball game, that's all the positions you will have. In our league, we have the ability to throw in a few more outfielders. So sometimes we'll put in another person maybe here, or we'll put a person here. It doesn't really matter, but we have the ability to do that. But I just wanted to kind of explain, when you're looking at this field, always envision it when you're the batter, for instance, when you're up here batting and pitches are being thrown to you and you're ready to swing, everything is based off of that view when you're looking out to the field like this. So that would be your left side if you were the batter, right? This would be your right side, and that would be central. So left field, center field, right field, okay? Hopefully that's making sense. So let me review real quick. We have the catcher right here, the pitcher, first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, left fielder, center fielder, right fielder. Those are the main defensive positions, all right? And that's the general idea of what you want to do in terms of where you go to. Now, when there's a batter, so let's pretend this is the other team and we're all out there, okay, in our different positions right here. Here's the batter that's up to bat. The pitcher, the coach right now throws in the pitch. The batter is trying to hit that ball. When the batter hits the ball, their job is to always run straight to first base, right like this. As fast as you can, you run to first base. Now, when you're running to first base, this is the only time you're allowed to run through the bag. That means if you're running to first base, you don't have to stop on the base. You can run through it as fast as you can. You just have to touch the base with your foot when you go, okay? So if you're the batter, you hit the ball, you run as fast as you can through first base. Now, if your coach tells you, remember we have our coaches here and here, if our coach tells you to go to second base, they're going to tell you, they're going to wave their arm like we practiced, and they're going to go to second, go to second. When that happens, you touch first base, and then you come around here and you go to second base. Same thing. If your coach here was telling you to go to third base, you would touch second, and then you would run to third base. And if they tell you to go home, you would touch third and go all the way to home to score a run. All right, that's generally what you do. But when you're batting, the first thing to remember is you hit it and you always run to first base. That's the most important thing. Now, if you get there, what the defense is trying to do is they're trying to get you out. So if you hit the ball, say you're the batter right here, all right, and you hit the ball to the pitcher, goes on the ground to the pitcher. You start running to first base. The pitcher is going to field that ball, pick it up, and then they're going to throw the ball to the first baseman, who should now be standing on first base. So the first baseman's primary job when they're starting here is whenever the ball's hit, they run to first base, the white base, they put their foot on it, and then they reach out so they can receive a throw. So whoever gets the ball throws it to the first baseman. And if you get the ball to the first baseman before the runner runs across, that means that runner is out. And that's what you want to get. You want to get an out every time the other team is up batting. And if you get 3 outs in 1 inning, right? An inning is when different teams are batting, right? So if you get 3 outs in 1 inning, then your team gets to leave the field and you get to go bat instead. All right, so let's review that again. If you're getting a pitch, this is the person hitting, you hit the ball, right? You're going to run to first base as fast as you can and run through it and touch the base. If your coach tells you to go to second, you're going to go to second. If they tell you to go to third, you're going to go to third. And if they tell you to go to home, you're going to go to home. But if they tell you to stop at any point, you stop on that base. So these other bases, it's really important to remember. You can run through first base, but if you're running to second base or if you're running to third base, you have to stop on the base. You can't run beyond the base, because if you do, these players, if they have the ball in their hand, any of these players can tag you with the ball, whether it's in their glove or their hand, they can touch you and you'll be out if you're not on that base, okay? So that's really important to remember. When you go to second base or third base, you have to stay on the base. You can't leave it, or they can tag you with the ball and you're out, okay? So that was the first video I wanted to show you. Again, the most important thing is to learn the positions. This is catcher. This is first baseman, second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, pitcher. That is the infield. That's the team that's in the dirt, right? And then there's the outfield, and that's in the green here. The outfield is the left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, all right? So I'm going to do another video in a little bit, but that's the first one, and I want you to try to review it. And remember, we're going to ask you the next time we get together, what are the different positions, okay?